Good morning, everyone. I was about to have a real strong language conversation with my father. Because remember, my father's responsible for lots of things, from sleeping with my girlfriends behind my back to paying them for sex to encouraging people that were not friends of mine to sleep with my girlfriends, to seek and fuck my girlfriends. So he's on hot water for my end based on what he said yesterday. 'Cause I keep him a close ally. He's a foe, but he has to be a close foe because I'm not heartless enough to forget about someone, about family. People like them, like my father, like my mother, disappear, disappear, disappear. Not only take family from you, but disappear, disappear. Just poof, out of thin air. My mother is unavailable forever, forever. Something that's not going to be a 6 month disappear for a little bit. Not forever. Boom, your family don't exist, and that says a lot about their demeanor. That says a lot about their criminal behavior. When American parents just don't disappear out of thin air. People that disappear out of thin air from family members at their age are criminal, are major criminals. Not a little criminal, major criminals. Because if you could just poof out of thin air and forget about your family, forget about everything, you have you have some real, that's some real concerning behavior. So yesterday, sitting after eating and drinking, I said, "Hey, Dad, what do you think if I abort? Not abort, if I adopt someone?" He's like, "No, no, no, you cannot do that. You cannot do that." But they were the same people that stopped me from having a family. So that wasn't the right language for someone who fucked my girlfriend, to encourage other people to fuck to have sex with my girlfriends, to stop relations from forming, and guys ultimately literally almost killed women, raping them and shit in Puerto Rico. Nasty Freddy Krueger looking motherfucker, sticking his midget hand inside a woman's body. You understand what I'm saying? Emmanuel Santiago, Juan Víctor Conceición Cardona, Víctor Cardona himself, Marcel, you know, Coscujuela, all these people, reggaeton people that my own father knows within the family. You know what I mean? Within the family. So if I'm like this and I have no family, it's because he didn't put enough effort or didn't want that to happen. And if he didn't want that to happen for me to have my own child and my own family, there's a grudge. It shows criminal intent. It shows a motive. His motive was set by the time I was 18. Sleep with his girlfriends. Sleep with his girlfriends. And I heard him speaking in Spanish to my uncle. You best sleep with his girlfriend. Because that's how much my own father has respect for me. That's how much respect. That's how fucking retarded and criminal our Latino families. This is what they do. And you might have met a virgin in the street. You might have connected with them and slept with them or whatever. Someone that's really going to be attached to you for the rest of their life if they ever wish a white wedding with you. And they'd be the first one to stick a motherfucking mandingo schlong in that pussy. They'd be the first people, not knowing that the person is not a whore, not knowing that the person is special and young and wants a serious relationship or not. They'd rather stick they motherfucking 4-inch thick, 1.5 fucking horse meat inside a young woman's body, inside a woman that never understood that. Never. That's not the same thing. That's not me. I don't do that. They do that. They are into ripping women apart so that they feel nothing for whomever comes next. It's like a one-time deal. Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Spics, even some niggas doing that, it's a one-time deal. A woman after that, after they go through that type of situation, but they like to put drugs in the vagina, they like to put drugs in their body, they like to drug them, they like to get high, they like to get drunk, they keep them under false imprisonment, They keep them under a certain close curtain prostitution among the same people or among just one man. After that woman walks on the street, that woman's just a whore now. That woman feels nothing for nobody. Nothing for nobody. Because you're going from 3 inch to a motherfucking needle dick. To a needle dick. And shit dance up in there. Motherfucking tango up in there, left and right. So that it feels nothing for the next person. And that's a motive. So my father yesterday, when I was speaking about him about, adopting a child at my age, he was negative about it. Not conscious of what he's saying. Not conscious of what he's saying. Because they're ultimately killing generations of men behind me. My grandfather's life, worthless. Worthless. My great grandmother's life, worthless. My whole gene pool, worthless. It dies with me. That's how selfish are both my mother and my father. That's how selfish and ignorant and criminal. Like if I wasn't theirs, that's what a virus does. That's what a lion pride does. They might take a lion in from a different family, right? They might take a lion into the different family, but they're not gonna let him reproduce. He's gonna end up a a loner, Ronin. No children, no prairie for him. He might help in a fight, but that's it. He's gonna die worthless. And that's what they did with me. And they started doing that when I was 17, and I wrote an entire book about it. Love Story, Reflections of True Events, in which spics, niggas, right? The slurs of men acted upon, looking to stop my emotional relationships, looking to demasculate me. And if I wasn't that beautiful, if I wasn't as beautiful as I was, because I was only 11, I might look ugly now, but it's because I'm 40 years old. I've slept with, like everyone else knows, Kim Kardashian. I've slept with Kim at least 3 times. I've slept with Kourtney Kardashian 1 time. I've slept with Cardi B. I slept with Paris Hilton. I had 2 weeks with Olivia Munn in Oahu when I was young. I slept with J-Lo 3 times, not one, 3 times, with people from the industry, with real A-lister, Hispanic and West Hollywood, Malibu, Lady Gaga, to mention a few. But in their psychosis, in their criminality, they think that I'm gonna ignore what they did. They think that, yeah, we deprived this boy of family. When I die, he's gonna have nobody. In a real selfish piece of shit way. So that they learned the lesson. Today I wanted to call him, and he was in the hot seat today, but unfortunately he was in a car with another person. He was heading to go play golfing. God knows if it was a woman, some prostitute. They're supposed to play golf today. Lots of money. Spend another $1,000 every weekend or so. Another 1,000, another 1,000, another 1,500. Throw that money out. In the end, right? His property is going to end up liquidated or be part of the neighborhood in PR. And all these criminal people that affected me through my life, they're probably in that house weekly. They're probably in that house weekly. They got access to the pantry. They got look where I'm at on the street. That's how heartless these people are. That's why these people should be deported. They should not get American rights. Puerto Ricans should not get American rights. They should not get American freedom. They should be thrown like a piece of garbage into the slum over there and see if they can survive. And when they come here begging, deportation with ICE, so that they learn the lesson of what not to do with people that are beautiful. Because I was the beautiful people. Not now. But then I was the 11. I was Zac Efron in the face, and Zac Efron telling Lady Gaga next to me, what does he have that I don't? Lady Gaga was like everything. He has everything. Everything. You see that? And that's Zac Efron. But unfortunately, this race, these phenotypes of men, these specific ties cultural issues with these type of men, niggas, Hispanics, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, they don't understand what adultery is. They don't care. They don't care what it doesn't conceive in them what adultery is. They don't feel it. They don't get it. White people, white American people, girls from New Jersey here, right? Roselle Park, across the river from here, respect relations. Nobody cheated in my high school. We were in pairs since middle school in Roselle Park, New Jersey. And some of them were African Americans, but we stayed in pairs. We never cheated. We learned about relationships over there. The phenotype, the mental illness, the social development issues, the psychosocial, social mental disorders that they have over there. Women are conservative in PR. They're conservative. They're not going to give any out. They're not even going to French kiss until they're 20. They're 20 years old, 22 years old. Their women are not going to do what they're supposed to do. They're not going to want any of those people. And if they are going to take someone in, it's going to be that one guy. It's going to be that one guy forever, especially at that young age. But unfortunately, I was affected by a culture that doesn't understand the concept of respecting intimacy, of adultery, of desire, because it isn't even love for them. They don't even feel love. It's about fornication and nothing else. Fornication and forget it. Forget the woman like a piece of shit. And me, I don't touch those women after. Why? Because there's gunplay involved. You know, adultery it becomes a little dangerous when a man wants to feel attached to a woman in a slum in Puerto Rico. Because if you're with her, fine. But once they come sleep with her, knowing that you're with her, you gotta stop because the gun gonna come out. Because they deprive women of freedom. It's like their ownership. They own these women after they sleep with them. They own them. And it's all in here. That's not American freedom. That's not the American way of life. And for my father, he wanted generations of men to die with him, would die with me. He feels nothing for not having a grandson. Zero. And that's a psychological thing. That's either a criminal man or a man that I'm not enough. I'm a doctor, bro. I'm a doctor. I'm not a game. People got feelings. I expect normalcy from my life. Normalcy. You know what normalcy is? Being the same as everyone else. I don't work in an office. I don't have a 9 to 5, but I work on my computer. I work from a PC. But this is how these people are. These people predated my relations. Over 73 women, 73, 76, demasculated me by the time I was 23, looking to sleep with everyone, right? 23, I was done. 23, I was done. Imagine how many, how big was my social circle when I was young. Imagine how many partners I could pick at any time. Miami, for example, 2006, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 6, a phone call, let's go. Relations everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. And now zero. And now none of them want something special with me. Zero, because they moved on, they grow up, they got family. Now, for the smart ones, for the ones that found normalcy, they have a family, they have children, they have what they need to, keep their generations in check so that thousands of men behind you don't just die, which is the critical factor in human evolution. People reproduce and make a family because they are moving their genes through just like Neil deGrasse Tyson, just like Neil. Generations of men move all these genes, all these beautiful people, Italian people that created me up to the future. But certain men, just like my father, certain men like the Hispanic neighbors I got. Ooh, what great friends. Deprived, killed all those people. All of the entire beautiful gene pool is gonna die. And I was an 11. Now, I don't look like an 11 now because they also deprived me of beauty. Over time, they did certain things to me just to stop me from being beautiful. But they stopped all those people from moving forward. The tree of life in my family ends with me. Like all those people at the top and at the bottom just cut the tree off and like if they never existed. And it's real unfortunate that grown men engage in that behavior when they focus in another woman in the woman of another man. Why? Because you want to stick that horse meat up in there, huh? You think you're better? How about you respect relations? You understand what I'm saying? Because we end up 40 years old without normalcy. We end up 40 without being normal. And then to other people that don't have right as an office, which is primarily the main reasons I don't get a job. Right? If I ever were to make a 9 to 5 and I wanted to get if I want to become a supervisor in a company or a manager, what do you think those communications are going to be with those people? Like if I was a robot, a child, yeah, right? What do you think those people talk when they go up in that office? Oh, how you doing? How's your family? How's your mom? How's your son? How's your daughter? That's normalcy. That's how people behave so that they can engage so that they can get enough trust with you, right? They talk about their own family so they have enough trust among themselves that they're pursuing a vision, a vision, a strategy within a corporation or within a small firm. That's normal. They don't just speak about trucks, right? Ford F-150s or dualies. They just don't speak about Ferraris or Hondas all day up there. Now they speak about family. Adults speak about family. And if I don't have a family, if I don't base minimum have a girlfriend, I'm not going to be normal to the peoples up top. But some people through life want to say they won this game of trying to stop me from having a family, trying to stop me from having certain things. And they couldn't stop me from becoming a doctor. They couldn't stop me the 76 times I might have slept with a woman since I was, God knows what, ninth grade. You understand what I'm saying? So my dad's in a hot seat. Yesterday, I asked him, hey, what do you think if I adopt a child? Like a fish and bait to get his response. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, 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 no children. Oh, no, no. Because that's how much they care. Because that's how much they see of me as a regular human being. That's how much they see of myself. That doesn't happen in any other American family. Any other American would have been like, great, do it. I dare you to. But to them it's no, 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 not children. Why not children? Why am I so different? Right? You really got offended from how beautiful I was in the end. They basically, unfortunately, don't like beautiful people. I was beautiful people. I was A-list. I was hanging out with Paris Hilton. I know Paris Hilton since 8th grade. Me going to the beach by myself, Paris Hilton with Britney Spears at the beach. That's what I did. Got to the beach, Britney and Paris over there. The original Britney Spears too, the OG. The singer. My loneliness is killing that Britney. With me at the beach, me coming out all wet and sandy to sit on the towel. I was High Street. I was High Street all the way up. I'm South Central Park. South Central Park or West Central Park. I'm not up top. I'm way up there. But they, in their psychosocial issues, destroyed every relation I had. Pursued, drugged, raped, molested, scared away with a pistol. Stay away from him. Stay away from him. On some retard tip just to stop me from being normal. Because in their mind, all they were looking for were to support their assertions about me. In the end, it's always about what people believe of you and what they are willing to do to withstand, to support those assertions about you. Subjective, not objective, subjective. Oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's that. Oh, he's this and that. Pro sport personality, snowboarding, skateboarding. Stopped doing all that physical stuff, became a doctor. And it drove my mother nuts because my mom thought that I was never going to achieve anything, which made her disappear like a light switch, bro. My mom disappeared out of the face of the planet December 13th of 2023, like that. Invisible. Now she doesn't exist. Why? Because in here, what they thought of you wasn't right. You see? Trying to stop the human spirit, trying to stop free will, trying to misguide, lie to people that he's this way. That psychological superstitions, beliefs about people are so ingrained in their soul, in their mind, that once it becomes false, once they lied, or once they saw themselves at the evil side, they disappear. They feel so bad for what they've done, they can't even show face anymore. Why? Because I turned to a doctor. And in my mother's mind, I was just a drug addict. I was a nobody. They're never gonna make any money from me. I was this, I was that, I was this, I was that. And I achieved the highest position in the land. I did it in 10 years, interface. But that's how people are. They in here, boom. Damn, what I said about this man was all wrong. What I thought about this man is all wrong. Or if they're ignorant, he's a doctor, but he still doesn't serve a family. Because we have democracy. You understand what I'm saying? I made him snap out of it. You were treated me like if I was a piece of garbage on the street, homeless or whatever, and I came back, had a little bit of time, a little bit engaged on a chair and a table. That's all I needed to achieve a higher position than both of my stepbrothers and sisters, so that they could try bullying me, bully me over time, make it difficult to think, scream, aggression stuff, try to corner me in a room, all the behaviors that I had to experience with them. But in the end, I don't have a family. I don't have a girlfriend, a foundation, another rock to stand with me out here and let's say, let's get some groceries together. Let's do this. Let's do that. Because people took the possible people that would have stayed, by my side, and took them from them, took them from them, for themselves. Adultery. Took them in as adultery, as adulterers, straight adulterers, with pure malice, pure hate for someone, and ingrained this evil, right? Ingrained this evil in them, because they did. They changed their mind about me, and I'm now that I'm a doctor, I'm pretty sure those people are like, oh my goodness, I left him, right? You left me, right? You didn't pick up the phone. Nobody called me. This and that, and now I'm a made man. I may be on the street dirty. Look how dirty this is. Getting new clothes soon, but may be on the street and dirty. But I proved everyone wrong with that, and I turned them crazy for doing that. Because when people don't want you to be a pro athlete, no, he doesn't deserve it. Oh, he doesn't deserve to be an NBA player. Oh, he doesn't deserve to be it. Because that's basically the whole narrative of my family. He doesn't deserve a PlayStation 5. He doesn't deserve to be a doctor. He doesn't deserve to be a pro sport personality. He doesn't even deserve to be beautiful. He's too beautiful. That's how they think about you. That's how they thought about me. And in the end, either they disappear like a light switch, bop, and you never hear from them again. Your own mother could just vanish full of that fucking hatred for you and go, bop, snap, and disappear, noticing that she was dead wrong. Or your father could still be present and still have mixed beliefs about you, still be on the other side, still be on the other side, still be right there. Mira, you speak to him about, adoption, and his response is not parental. His response is not even like a good friend. His response is like a bully, like a bad friend, like someone that's not really your parent. So in the end, they might have stopped me from having a child or having a family because I wasn't theirs. I wasn't theirs. And all they had to do for me to be clear with it is come clean. Come clean. You stole me. That's it. That's it for both my mother, my father, and my grandmother, who passed away, was my real mother. We could have just come clean instead of playing this game and ingraining all these perceptions that these people hate me, because they do. How you gonna stop a child from having a girlfriend? Tell other people to sleep with their girlfriends. How you gonna do that to a child, 17, 18? And all the girlfriends I ended up with, and every single one was hunted down by these people. You see that? Every single one was hunted down by these people. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? I had to live like that, and now 40, looking for normalcy, looking to go to, looking to get a job in the future. I don't know, maybe lead my own firm. And then when people talk about me, they have nothing to identify with. Nothing to identify with. Because what do people in jobs identify with? They don't identify with Honda's cars or with trucks. They identify with family. That's how they unite. That's how they bond. That's what they communicate about. And if I'm not normal and I have nothing to talk about, I'm not gonna last there very longer. As a doctor, I play 3D chess with that bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? So if I don't have a child, I don't have a family, I'm dispensable. I'm like garbage. I'm a piece of paper in a resume that you could just throw away in 2 years. But if you have a family, right? If you have a family, if you have a grandmother to take care of, if you have a house, if you have this and that, people are willing to give you the effort, give you the chance to work. See, that makes sense, right? To me, it makes lots of sense. It's what binds you. Having a family in this environment, especially for American people, it's the glue that keeps people together. Oh, how's your mom? How's your wife doing good? How's your son? Blah, blah, blah. That is the glue that keeps people in jobs. Without that, you don't have a job. So I'm basically could be a doctor, but one day, man, I make a little bump. LeBron for three. Shush. Hope you guys understand that. I'm gonna keep it quiet, tie my hair up, but we're in the hot seat today. I wanted to put my father today in the hot seat for what he said yesterday about adopting, because they're all still the same. They're trying to keep me close, but they're not good people. You could tell that they have they have mixed views, and these mixed views are anti your own son. These type of mixed views are sort of bullying. A sort of strong psychological belief that they're not willing to let go, because all he could have done is lie. You understand? That's all he could have done. He could have lied and be like, yeah, adopt. I dare you to find a child. I dare you to adopt a child, find a place to live, and I dare you to get to follow that. But nah, it's the complete opposite. No, 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 no children, blah, 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 blah. And in the end, you end up the last person in your gene pool. You end up dead. Roman Bonilla dies with me. Why? Because my own family wanted it that way. And they shouldn't even be involved in those matters. Regular people don't involve themselves in their children's relationships. You see what I mean? Those are considered blessings to American people. Grandsons, that's a blessing. A girlfriend, a good foundation, a rock in a house, that's a blessing to these people. That's something that they envy. That's something that's enviable to the niggas, the Spics, the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans. That's something that's enviable. So they take with this criminal opportunity to stop you from having those things. And they did. They did, and my time already slipped off my fingertips for having a family. Way away. I turned 40 this year. Hope you make sense. I hope whomever is listening to these videos, I know I got a lot of people in and out. Reflect about that a little bit. Think about it. It is not a game. Adultery is not a game. Adultery should be punished by death. But that's what they do. That's what they do. They disappear your whole lineage. Boom, done. Like that. Nobody left. Nobody left. We're an organism on earth that is dispensable because of adultery. Dispensable. Throw away the entire genealogical code of that person and put it in the garbage. Take an animal and make it extinct. I'm the last one. I'm at the verge of extinction. Only one member left. When you look at it in a fauna and flora perspective. But to those people who did that, they don't have enough up here. They didn't think. They didn't think when they were doing those things. They ended up criminal. I see, I perceive criminal. Either they shut the light and disappear, or try to stay, but as a negative ally, not a neutral ally, but as a negative ally, an enemy, close enemy. It is not a game. What they did to me was not a game, and it's all rooted in adultery for Hispanic communities. It's something that drug dealing, right? Communities in which they make the money off drug dealing, this and that, envy, real blood boiling envy for people. It makes people do certain things that they shouldn't be, that they should be punished with. Just the adultery, arrest them, put them in a box. And then the judge asked him, "Have you stopped sleeping with the women of other men?" "No, I do what I want." Put him back in jail. He's not going to get the lesson yet. Like that. If the judge don't feel remorse, have a hearing, ask him again, "Are you going to continue sleeping with with the women of other men?" "I do what I want. Free will. I do what I want." Back to jail. That's it. You're going to continue procuring, right? You're going to continue trying to prostitute, procure, threaten the woman of another man. Go back in the box. Americans don't do that. That's only third world shit. That's only over there in that island. It's only there that they get away with all that bullshit. Only over there they get motherfucking real unfortunate. Got accustomed to that shit. And you dying. You're an extinct species already. You know you're not gonna fornicate and make a child because your time for baby making was young. Was 2006 at most, 21, so that you could see them grow like that. Not his 13 years of age when you're 40. Not young. Raise them things, but no. To us, to the beautiful people, only the ugliest of people want to decide our fate. And I left that memo. I left that memorandum. I left that. Only the beautiful people lose a chance to make a family surrounded by the ugly people. Surrounded by people that are just fucking disgusting ugly. But I mean disgusting. Crossbreeding and shit. You know? Not purebreds, not white on white, not brown on light eyes, blonde on light eyes. Nah, it's nasty monkeys with light eyes and by force at this point. It's by force. You got to admit it. Think of me like Christopher Walken in a movie. It's by force. You know it's by force because when you're going to use adultery, when you're going to use drugs, when you're going to use money to get to someone else's wife, you're not doing a natural effort. It's not a natural effort. It's a forced effort at crossbreeding. That's all they know how to flaunt. Money, drugs, wealth, diamonds. And none of them were half as attractive as I was. Talking to Paris Hilton, lip to lip. I remember those days. Me and Paris Hilton in the club, VIP, and I'm sitting there getting hammered, and we're talking like that. She's basically talking in my mouth, and I'm talking to her mouth, like that. That was us. She was tall. She's like a ginormous woman. That was us. That's what I did, baby. People look at that hand. That man was in Paris. Who's this guy? That was me. Had anyone I wanted, like a playboy. Anyone I wanted. Anyone I could want. But nothing ever stuck because behind me, I had a bunch of drug dealers. I had a bunch of rapists. I had a bunch of drug money behind me. I had a bunch of real ugly people looking to buy themselves in the life of another human. No sex appeal whatsoever, just material wealth. No sex appeal whatsoever, just material wealth. Money, buying themselves with their mouth, popping off at the mouth. Blah, 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 blah. They like to talk a lot. That's the only way they could get women to bed, by talking. The beautiful people get to bed by just being, by just existing. Dead ass. I'm not lying about this. We don't need to talk. It's just, no, French kiss. No talking. Because it's visually attractive. And that's the people that are dying. In my opinion, we're extinct. We're extinct. As beautiful as me, better looking than Zac Efron. Right? Zac is hot. Zac got a cute bod out there with them light blue eyes. He's really hot, but I was a little better than that. I got the Colgate, perfect front, almost immaculate porcelain looking teeth. I had the hair. I had the suntan. I had everything. Everything. But I got old. And in the end, that's what they did. That's what they did. And for that, they should get arrested. Because even if you buy a woman out, even if you drug her to sleep with her, even if you use money, it's still adultery. She had a relationship with another man, and you got in between them to just flaunt your money and go like, start throwing gang signs and shit, start doing bullshit in front of her to attract her because you got dope. That's adultery. That's real adultery. And they're unfortunately not this. And they will never be this. But that's what I had to deal with in my life. Let's keep it quiet. It's already let's check for these signals. It's not a game. Adultery is something serious in PR. Only the most beautiful lose everything. And you end up that it's been incurred. As you mature, you end up that it's coming by your own parents. It's ingrained by your own parents on people. Oh, he's gonna say nobody, he's never gonna achieve to anything. Some family members, oh, he's ugly. And you be beautiful as hell, but they black, remember. They darker colored Dominicans within your own family. And they be talking shit about you already at a young age. Oh, he's nothing. Oh, he's never gonna achieve to nothing. And then some others within the same family. He's ugly. He's this. He's that. And that enters kids' minds. Autistic, retarded kids. That enters through their skull. They make math out of it and say, "Oh, wait a minute. So if he's ugly, to me he's ugly too. I'm gonna sleep with his girlfriend. He's not gonna be nothing. I'm gonna say that whatever is I'm gonna say to his girlfriend, his current girlfriend, behind his back, that his family thinks he's nothing. That's this and that he's ugly. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And then talk their way out into someone to bed. And that's what happened to me. Time and time and time and time and drugs and rape and this and this and this, just to stop you from having someone to call. And after they touch them, or I seen connection that they were with those people, I snapped the plug because I gotta have anyone I want. Even if they even if they were what's the name? Johansson. If it was Miss Johansson, and I seen them with those people, right? I was driving around the block about the park, and by the time I got there, she had already met my enemies, and I seen them together. Bah, I'm not talking to that female again, ever again. Once they got close to them, once I see the behavior, the adultery behavior, move on, quick. I want nothing. I don't want those people close to any of my girlfriends, and that's how I did it. Just by contact, because I got a good eye. I had an eagle eye. Remember, I was a surfer. I could see a mile away clear. I could see the contours of the waves really far out. Not now, because I got shit vision after drinking myself to liver cancer. But the second, it could have been Scarlett Johansson. It could have been Jennifer Lawrence. Could have been any of them. I seen them with those people. Bow, they caught off. like that. Boop, delete the phone. I would have been like, man, boop, boop, where's the name? Her, delete, move on. Why? Because I was the acid. I was the acid, baby. I was this perfect. Not now. See how ugly that is? This perfect. This perfect. This perfect. Whole body perfect. I don't want any problems with these ugly people. You see, just to see a troglodyte, just to see Freddy Krueger thinking that he got game to speak with Scarlett Johansson in this type of example. Ugh, ugh, this guy spin that sociopath, that psychopath game on that. Ugh, snap, cut it off, and move on to the next one. Why? Because I'm not a game. I'm not a game. I don't thread waters, tainted waters. I'm not a milk brother. Hispanics are all milk brothers, and they are mens rea about milk, about being milk brother. You know what mens rea is in a legal term? It's about with thought, done thinking versus done without thinking. Mens rea. So they are milk brothers. Mens rea, with and that involves sleeping with the same women, all of them behind the same one, in some disturbing cultural issue, right? And then that person went to have a child, just like African Americans. That person went to have a child, right? She starts carrying someone in there, and she has no clue who is it from. So, but this is what these people do. And if they had a chance, and if I would have continued with Scarlett Johansson over J-Lo, over any of these girls that these people were, targeting because they saw me with them, because that's their only link to them is to mention my name. They say, oh, no, he's my friend, he's my cousin, he's my brother, he's my sister, he's my this and that. How you doing? But you know what I mean? Use me as a gateway to engage in communication. And then once I saw that, like a cut the cable, but I mean, boom, not call. And the phone would ring, bro. Ring, 3 in the morning. Ring, ring, out. Stop, stop calling. Like that. I dropped them like shit. Why? Because men don't have self-control. When men desire the woman of another man, it's every woman. It's not just one woman. Once they get away with that one, that was beautiful, right? Once they steal, if you're a really beautiful guy, once they steal that one beautiful one, their desire, their psychosis in adultery, it's not going to make them stop. There's going to be everyone after that. Everyone. They're going to want to be looking, driving around. Where is he? He went out. Oh, who's he with? Oh, damn, that's a hot girl. Hold on, let's park. Let's go talk to her. They're going to do that to everyone. And the same way they did that is the same way I cut the cable. Like, no more. No more. No more. And they would call, and they would stop calling by the third day. Maybe 2 nights. Maybe during the afternoon, they would call, but I'm at the beach like a bag of shit. Why? Because you can't be approaching those people. Because I know their intentions. The second you see them, the second you see Freddy Krueger and Lady Gaga together, you know that it's this not good behavior. They shouldn't be pursuing your women. That's what they do once they are into your women. Only into your women. In the end, they ended up sleeping with every single emotional relationship I had behind me, right? And they ended up turning them against me. And they were the ugly people. They're not the beautiful people. So even if they make a child with that beautiful person, it's still gonna come out like a motherfucking nigga. It's still gonna be ugly. It's not gonna have straight hair. It's not gonna have light eyes. It's not gonna be pretty. It's gonna be like whatever fucking crossbreeding intent they had, if they ever made it to that level, because they didn't have an emotional connection to that. It was just straight sex, straight adultery. Move on to his next girlfriend, and that's criminal. They should get pop, 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 Tommy gun in that. for that. For that, they should. Because there was way too many that I stopped being in contact with through my 40 years of life. Way too many. And they still try to come get me. Those women still try out of the youngest that are still around since I was 21, and those men are still actively doing it. Let's take for example Aubrey. Aubrey came to see me here at Battery Park. Guess who appeared? Freddy Krueger, stalking me because they know Freddy Krueger already looking to apply pressure, looking to get his way, looking to know them first, looking to have a loving communication, being a fucking disgusting mutt. I'm Italian, Bianchi, Mentrea. Don't forget about Mentrea. Thoughtful. They've done it before, and they'll do it again. So in the end, after Aubrey, I'm not pursuing anyone. I'm pursuing getting rich, making my money, getting to $30,000, depositing 300 in my brokerage account, and blasting off again. That's it. That's all that's left. Because they're gonna continue doing it until they get the 45 ACP in their gut. They will. They're gonna continue doing it. You gotta catch them in adultery. You gotta be trying to know someone and then see someone that's unrelated that shouldn't even know them too, and then right there go out of King of New York, pull it out, and boom, 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 boom. Don't touch my women. Boom, boom. Another two more like that. It has to be that way. So for they to stop, they either gotta be dead or they gotta feel the heat. For them to stop, even when you're 40 of age, of doing that to any new woman you meet, it has to be pure steel. Remember, it's empty. They're devoid of sin in here. It's free will up here. Devoid of sin, devoid of culpability, devoid of guilt, devoid of date rape, devoid of, devoid of all that. They don't care what they do. Well, it has to go down to the steel. It has to go down like the King of New York. Go like, oh, what are you doing? They blah, blah, blah. Trying to do some front, comes out the car, come face me, and I pull out a motherfucking hammer this big. Or pull out a fucking hammer this big, bro. Like that. Wow. It's the only way. That's the only way that I see protecting my future. That's the only way I had. And I should have done a really long time ago, but we're still cutting them away. Instead of getting to a real physical violent level, I'm still at oh, you're with her? Oh, and until then, I'm going to eventually turn old enough that nobody's going to care if I exist or not. And they were the perpetrators. I left enough history. My book, my next book about the Japanese boy, about the American boy and the Japanese girl. There's one more book coming out of me soon about the same thing, about ghosting, about having a real cultural connection with someone else that suddenly disappears out of the face of the earth. I already left my mark in the world of what adulterers do. I already left it. I had to. It was my mission to do that. I have many missions. And finishing that book was one of them, so that other people, if it eventually gets published, understand that there's limits to free will. And every single instance that they took someone from me hurt, not the front, because I'm too beautiful for that, but it hurt in here. Not the face, but it hurt in the cranium. It hurts in here. Every time you gotta forget about someone. Every time you meet someone new, and you gotta forget him because Freddy Krueger wants to be a Mentrea, fucking a milk brother. Wants to be sticking his schlong in whomever you just met, and it's real unfortunate that I had to, end up like that. But in the end, it's the steel. I'm telling you. If I'm 40 now, if I make it to 50 and they're still doing that, it's got to end up in gunplay. There's no escape from that. There's no escape. It has to end up in pure heat, just like in Puerto Rico. just like in a slum and por falda. Motive falda, mujer. There's a lot of back in 1985, 1992, 93. There was murders. Puerto Rico had a per capita murder of 5,000 a year, 6,000 a year, and a whole fraction of that were men killing based on adultery. They were killing because they were sleeping with their women. A whole fraction of that. Oh, thousands of people were getting shot for sleeping with the woman of another man. But that died down, and those people rose up, and they started being non-punished by the guys like me. Just let the woman go. Americans, unfortunately, let them go, but they continued to do that to those people. They didn't stop. Emmanuel Santiago did not stop seeking to sleep with my girlfriends. Juan Victor Concepcion Cardona did not stop looking to sleep with anyone new I meet. My own father encouraged those people to continue, even at this age. It's it's a real it's a real issue because what they're looking for is for you to grab the King of New York's superstar piece, chromed out this big, with 1245 ACP slugs in it. A big one. Some of this, a hammer looks like a motherfucking cup. A hammer this big and shit. A big shit. But luckily, I've kept my cool. But I already wrote it down. They're already guilty. I left them, I imprisoned their behavior on pages so that other people could learn from that. And obviously, people that watch my streams could also learn from those too. All you got to go is go on YouTube, not Twitch, because Twitch deletes them. Go on YouTube and go through excess of material about the adultery issue. Excess. Because in the end, they deprive us of normality, they deprive us of a family, they crossbreed and make really ugly children, right? And we end up extinct. Generations of men just die in the battlefield. Just die. We just died. Hope that made sense this morning. Let's get the stock market activities here. Let's finish this open thinker swim and see where we are today. Because yesterday I had a pretty good day. I still made my money, but the issue is that signals appear and go away, and they end up sticking. You end up every 2 hours, you end up losing your position because psychologically you're inclined to let go of the trade once it turns red, but the second you let go, you go back at the profit. So today we're gonna do the same thing. Today we're if it's buy, we're gonna buy at 9:30, and we're gonna be there by 11, and hopefully we don't have to sell throughout the entire day. I think, or what I'm going to be testing today is if sell appears, it's very likely it's going to be sell, because sell is going to be a peak. It's going to be a candle that's going to be at a peak, and it's going to follow through unless it goes higher. And even if it goes higher, it's going to stay a peak. And buy is always at the bottom, so buy is always going to stay at the bottom at a V shape of the trend. So even if it happens, I'm going to hold the trade. That's all that I'm doing. And I'm letting go of the trade at the second I see a sell. I'm not holding it, because if you see the sell, it's very likely, there's high certainty that the trend is going to change. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. Let's see what happens. Let me listen to some music this morning, get myself motivated. Motivated. You see cell signals. I see cell signals at 5 o'clock already. 7 o'clock there was a sell. MACD is pretty strong on the 30. Might be a sell off today again, just like yesterday. It's looking buy at open. Where's the trend at? It's going to turn bullish today. It's already showing signs of ramping up. We got the extreme MACD tight band. It's tight. So we got to wait for all this to go away. Might just zoom up. Let's wait. The pattern is below the channel, so it's definitely going to be a bullish signal at 9 o'clock. It's very certain it's going to be bullish. And it got to stay at the 561 level. Pretty good song. I like that. I'm hungry today, but I don't want to eat nothing because I don't want to spend no more money that I don't have. I gotta save my money. I gotta save Aroni, think Aroni, because if I don't think, I'm gonna blow $950 a little bit too quickly. And the goal is getting back to the thousand this month. Goal is getting back to the thousand this month, baby. Luckily, all I'm spending in cash is 219 in the morning, 276 in the afternoon, and it should stay that way. It should. 948. You see that? 948. It already went up. It was 950. Today's 948. Woo! We gotta stop that. Month to date, down $11. Very good. I'm down two. If it's 290, I'm down $80 from my year to date. My year to date is looking good. $1,000 plus. That's good, but it gotta stay 1,000. If I blow through $190 from here to the end of the year, or I mean from here until I get to grow that number, I'm going to lose my marbles because it means that I'm not sustainable. It means critical financial failure, fund destruction, pure destruction on it. I gotta go back to investing at Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is staying up above 96. But once it gets down to the 700 again or 70,000 again, I gotta start dumping $50 a month into that. I got to, because it makes a big difference. Makes a huge difference once it climbs back up $20,000. Not a huge difference, but it's a nominal difference. It bumps up the net worth on every swing. It's higher. It's higher. You see what I mean? So it's like 3,000 right here. Down, you invest, I don't know, another 95, another $100 into it, not at that number, but over time, and then back up again, so on and so forth. It's pretty high. And I know that not the net income for the year gonna go down, but I know the net worth gonna go down. And we still gotta buy clothes this month. Here we go. 9 o'clock, 10 more minutes. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be bullish, but the goal is, if we're going to handle all that supply. Hold on. Which aggregation period am I in here on the trend lines? Let's do 30 days and shit. Let me see if the trend line changes. All right, I see the crisscross. You see that X? And resistance, it's at 562, and then another one at 564. MACD at the 30 is still pretty solid though. Is it at 30? Let me see. Yes, 30 minute. At that 30 MACD, it's telling me that there's a lot of points to be covered on the downside. So maybe if it is buy, I mean, yeah, let's just do it how I planned to do it since last night. Buy, right? Buy and hold till sell. Do 20 contracts at the next buy, because it's not going to be sell. I mean, there is a sell right here, but it's, you see where the sell is? It's right here. But it's underneath the cloud. It's really likely the 9 o'clock candle is going to be a bullish one, and that's it. And if not, it's a continuation of 7 o'clock bearish. Let me say good morning to Sarah. I almost forgot about Sarah. Hold on. Discord. For today, I had this idea, since if it's buy, I'm not gonna close trade till sell, even if it loses money. Just to check if my certainty or proof yesterday was correct. If we, the goal is proving if we see buy, even if the market pulls back, it should recover till sell. That's all that matters. And if we see sell, we losing the trade. If we don't close it, so best closing at sell as fast as possible as its certainty sell or downtrend. Awaiting 9 a.m. signal. Damn, 100? Oh my goodness, $55 per. Damn it. Let me call my father. Although I was heated with him, but I calmed down. Adivina. Ahorita estaba molesto contigo porque me puse a hablar en el stream de una cosa en específica. Obviamente las cosas que hizo Juan específicamente es porque las novias se me van. Pero estoy viendo en el internet que los cuartos en Vega están a 55 la noche. Así que si está. ¿Quién está ahí? ¿Y quién está hablando? ¿Hay otra persona? Ok. Pues te está diciendo que Las Vegas están a 55 de la noche. ¿Cuánto nosotros pagamos en El Paso? 60. Algo así, 60 a la noche. Pues Las Vegas, parece que Las Vegas se está jodiendo. Mira, Aria, Resorts and Casino, 55 average. El Cosmopolitan, 55 average. Vidara, en Las Vegas, que eso es en el Strip, ¿no me entiendes? Para visitar Las Vegas, 55 average. El Mandalay Bay, que eso es un hotel bien prestigioso, ¿ves? Básicamente en el mismo centro de lo importante de Las Vegas, bajaron a 100 pesos. Algo está pasando en Las Vegas con que no, los hoteles están vacíos. Está bien, eso es lo que te quería decir. Háblame pues. Bye. Cabrón. Asshole. That's an asshole. Yeah, you see, it's an uptrend. You see it? Are you guys looking at my screen here? You guys are looking right. You see that? That's an uptrend right there. That's a 9 o'clock. It's going to be testing all that supply, and we're gonna use the certainty today. Today we're going for if it says buy, it's probably buy. Stick to the trade. Don't close it, even if it goes red, and wait till sell. That's it. Because if it's not going to be buy, you're not gonna see buy. You guys are gonna stay sell. That's basically how it's going to work it. That's how I'm gonna work it. And this code is proofed already. Reports state that it makes million millions of dollars. So we gotta trust it. We gotta trust these signals. So today we're gonna start the process of trusting the signals and wait. Basically, if it says buy, it's probably buy. Let's hold and wait. That's all I'm gonna do for today. If it's sell, I'm gonna close the trade. I'm not gonna think about it too much. Let's see what happens. Baby. My overall, my jacket, it's on the way. This hot, super strong jacket. I got the toughest jacket in the market. Construction workers gonna be jealous. I wear that. Once they see me, group of construction guys to see what I got, be like, damn, this guy got a belt. This guy got a hammer. Who's he working for? Who's he working for? Look, he got all that money to buy that clothes. I'm buying pretty good clothes. It's already on the way. They get here tonight. Really tough clothes for out here. Yeah, all we're waiting for is for confirmation of trend. Let me check the checking real quick again. Check the number in checking. 80. We're 40 short. We spent $40 since open, since moving a lot of money in it. No, we spent way more than that. It was 350 here. 350. So I've blown 120 since the end of April. But everything's copacetic. Everything should be okay. Everything should be okay because the net worth number is set. That's all that matters. As long as the net worth number is set in stone, you could spend as much as you want. Here we go. One more minute. Let's see if it shows. And if it shows, the assumption is that it will stay by. And I really have no idea why these gray candles continue to appear. I hate these gray candles. Hold on. Let me turn that bullshit off. It's on aggregation, right? Tex-Mex 2. Let me see. Where does it say that it's gray candles? There is no candle color here. I have no idea why my candles are red inside all this code. There shouldn't be no gray candles on it. It should be a flat full color. Aquí no hay nada de vela gris. They're not in here. There's nothing in here that warrants. That warrants gray candles like that everywhere. Let me see if we got a buy signal. We might. I mean, let's see. Let's see. See those gray? I don't like that. I don't like that gray there. That gray looks disgusting. And I have no way of controlling that gray. And when I click it, no idea why that is happening. Supposedly the Tex-Mex. But even if I remove Tex-Mex, even if I remove this, it should not be gray. Let me see if it's gray still. It's looking like it's not gray now. So it was those two codes. Let's see. There's still gray candles. What's the explanation for that? See, it's white but gray. Why is that? Why is that? It's not supposed to be doing that. They're still painting them gray. Just really, really annoying. Let me check if it's this code. Claude. Is this code painting candles gray? I don't think it is. So why the heck is it happening? Let me remove everything. Let me go back to an area in which there's nothing and see if it's going to continue doing it. Let's see if they're still gray. How you go force people to? You see, now they're not gray. There was something in there, and I made the mistake of pulling something out. Let's appearance. Let me move it to 2 minutes and see if I get the same result. It's something within the codes that it's painting the candles red. It's really annoying. See, those are not red or gray. All white. Very nice. Exactly what I need. So we have a set saved already, right? Let's add a set and we move one by one until the candles change. Let's add a set. It was Sarah, right? New Sarah tools. Use set. Apply. And then start removing until we find gray candles go away. It's annoying. And see, why is it happening? All right, here we go. See, now they're working correctly. Some white. Now they're working correctly. Wow, fantastic. Give me 100. Now they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's like they heard me, right? Think script, right? You heard me what I'm saying? Stop the gray candles because they're not supposed to be there. So we're getting a flush at 9 o'clock. But knowing how everything is, if this holds here, right? If this candle holds right here at 5:59 and doesn't just flush down, we're still getting a buy somewhere at the 9:30 candle at the 9 o'clock candle. But profit is going to be. It's not about buying him here. It's about buying in this area, knowing that this will be a pivot. It's looking like a pivot from this angle. It's like a Nike swoosh. They're trying to stop the trend right now. I'll be out of here by 9:35. Well, right after market open, and I'll see you guys as always 10:15, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. See what's happening, right? If the market recovers over here, the buy signal is going to come out once it's about 50% higher than the nine. Then the I could probably do a buy signal just in case. Where's the candle? We're gonna do the same thing we did yesterday to enter the market because we're smart like that. We're not gonna buy at the bottom. We're gonna buy at the problem area. And 958 open, right? 958 open, high, low, which is 40 cents lower, close 563 right here at the bottom. It was close at the bottom. So right here is going to be my limit order for open at 9:30. It's 566. We know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen out here. It's not a game. Let me get one more day. This is a thing that I'm learning. Okay, if you're going to do options, let me tell Sarah. If you're doing options, do one day to expiration rather than zero due to volatility to save value within the contracts for one more day, even if the trade will be closed by 11. I'm setting limit buy at 566 to open at 9:30 today. And I'm going to work and I'll check computer at 10:15 or so. See if we are in. Let's do that now. They're pretty cheap. Next days they're pretty solid in the money. 55 delta on them. Market, edit, this and that. Submit at 9:30. Not 30 in 1 second. And SPY mark above 566. Greater than 560.60 and then straight up, that's when it's saying buy signal. If not higher than that, there it stays until the 9 o'clock buy signal. You see what it's doing, right? It's flushing down. What? It's perfect for a buy here. The buy is going to appear once the market is above that number, and it's really confident that it bounced from 559.7 to 566. It's confident it's going to continue going or start battling this supply here. And we're not closing it. We're not closing it until this is over. Let me get ready because we got to get out of here. I slept like a baby yesterday. I couldn't sleep because I slept most of the day. I fell asleep at 4 or 5 o'clock on a bench. Oh, that was so amazing. It was a cold breeze. I just laid my head on my bag, like, oh. And I woke up at 9 at night from like 5 in the afternoon, like at 9. Then I went back to bed, and it was difficult to fall asleep till like 2 in the morning. And then I woke up at 7, like, all right. I must have slept a little because I saw the phone and it was 1 in the morning. So hopefully, I think I fell asleep at 3 in the morning today, but I'm pretty strong. I don't care sleeping little. I'm all right with that. Why? Because I got that sleep in. I got that sleep in earlier. Can't wait to throw all this clothes in the garbage. All of it. This jacket to the garbage. This suit to the garbage. Everything goes to the garbage. Out. Garbage. All this broken stuff on me. See, it's already recovering. It's already doing exactly what I think it's gonna do. 566 is gonna breeze through that and keep going. And that pivot is gonna stay. I think that low right there at the morning, this, I think 560, 559.67 is gonna stay there for today. And if it doesn't, I burned with my own cause. But it's okay. It's okay. I should be the threshold of bullish. I should think I bought those calls at the threshold of when the market starts feeling bullish, and investors should continue buying it there. Here they're probably selling, but they want to recover it right there. It's coming. That 566 is right there. See that low right there? That's exactly where I'm at. This line. If it goes above there, whoop, it should be before the signal and well anticipated. And we're gonna see if all this demand is gonna hold up. MACD on the minute, on the 2 minute is bullish, but it's already turning bearish. And MACD on the 30 minute is really bearish, but 0.23 is not that's not the end of the world. Maybe a $4 pullback. Hopefully not after my trade goes in. and it should turn green. That's basically all that's looking. Point two, it's like 3 point down, 34 point down at best. The goal is not catching a bear trap and free falling after. That's what we don't want to happen. We don't want to be in trade and there's no buy signal here. Yep, that's looking like a pretty solid low right here. Although there's an even bigger low on that demand wick. That's a pretty big demand block right there from 561.37 to 558.81. That's pretty solid demand. That's demand. And there's no wicks to the upside, so this might be a ramp right here. A ramp and a Uber launch. A rocket's about to launch, and I'm in it. Hopefully we open right here. It bounces. I catch 566 right up here. We're almost touching that limit. We go in. Booyaka booyaka. Or slam dunking it. And we wait. We wait till 11 self signal. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. 3 minutes till open. Two minutes. Five 62.3. 2 minutes to go. Better not move too high. What I fear is the bear trap. But there's demand already filling in at 560. 560 flat, there's demand there, and I'm only 60 cents down. So it might keep a trend. It might. It might be. Acceleration is negative. It might be. Da-da-da-da-da-da. 1 minute. Candles are going to turn green or deep green after 561.89. So anything above that is leans bullish, and we might if we make it before 11 o'clock above 561.99, it's really unlikely it's going to stop going up. But there's lots of trend lines. You see, we got a trend line here. We got a small trend line on price, and then we have the highest trend line at 563, 564. 40 seconds. We're opening in demand, baby. In demand. 560 flat. Para pa pa para pa. Para ta 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 ta. Para ta 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 ta. 10 seconds. Oh, oh, baby. It's kind of quiet. I'm in. Oh, I'm in. That's pretty bullish to me. The buy signal there? About to, not yet. About to, not yet. It's about to come out here at 9 o'clock. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Let's see what's happening here. Now we're gonna wait for the curve to hold. That's all that matters there. Order flow stream. Thank you. This is what I needed in my life. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. Why isn't this playing? Ugh. That's not good for my trade. Ugh, nasty. Lots of supply above. But the trend is holding. That's all that matters. This trend, we have a repeat of yesterday. I'm going to hold it. It's not buy yet, but I'm going to hold it based on the trend. Let's get out of here. I'll see you guys at 10:18. 10:15. I really should just lock screen and close this and leave it on so I don't lose let me shut this down and just pull up, open, and we be okay.